Good morning. May you all have a wonderful journey chanting at the Charan Pahadi near Kedarnath. So we have entered into the Kamyavan now, the sixth forest of Vrindavan on the 12th day of our Brahmcha Mandala Parikrama. Actually, today is the very auspicious day of the beginning of the Kartik month, and in Vrindavan they have started the Braj Mandala Parikrama today. So it's a very auspicious day. Uh, Thank you for joining and make your day wonderful by starting the Kartik month in a very nice way. And we pray to the divine couple to bless us so we can remain steadfast, not only during the Kartik month, but throughout the year. Also, I would like to welcome some newcomers. Rati Prabhu was traveling, so he has joined. Welcome, Prabhu. Also, the devotees has joined, says only initial G and S. Om Yuva, Nandini Devidasi, and also Arundhati Devidasi joined earlier, but she was not joining regularly, but she joined on today. So welcome back again. So with those thoughts, we would like to appreciate all of the regular devotees who always join and support all of us. Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji, Ivy Gautam, Ravi Pipilia Prabhu, Sneha Mataji, Govinda Gita Mataji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Shrika and Pankaj Gupta, uh, Sixtartika Devidasi, Parmeshwari Devidasi, Amal and Smita Panchpande, Sitala Priya Devidasi, Sachinandan Krishna Prabhu, Shraman Panchal Prabhu, Parmanand Hari Prabhu, Nandan Priya Mataji, Sugandha Raj Prabhu, Aradhana Devidasi, Manmata Anand Prabhu, Shundri Radha Mataji, Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, Patit Pavan Prabhu, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Hanuman Prabhu, Prathmesh Prabhu, Prafulanand Madhav Prabhu, Sripada, Lalita Devidasi. They went to the temple. Janki Khan Prabhu, Labanga Latika Mataji, Tapti Ghosh Mataji, Rohit Mishra Prabhu, Ganga Devidasi, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji. I think so many devotees went to the temple from Houston. We have a unique once a month, last Saturday of the month, the program from the youth that they give the Bhagavata class, they read the Mangala and everything, Guru Puja and everything. So a lot of the parents has to take them. So Priyanka Mataji, Madhvi Gopi Mataji, Amal Atman Prabhu. Today I didn't see Mahesh and Subhasini Shyam. Rico Ilai Prabhu, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, Anita Saha, Sri Kumar Prabhu, Shrikant Survasa Prabhu, Srinivas Charan Prabhu, Devi Murti Devidasi, Namanand Prabhu, Prem Vinodini Mataji, Abhay Prabhu, Raga Bhakti Devidasi, Vijay Keshav Prabhu, Tulsi Priya Devidasi, Rajendra Prabhu, Uttam Bhakta Prabhu, Vallavi Mataji, Bhadra Bharti Mataji, Sarvatarak Prabhu, Amal Nam Prabhu, Krita Lakshan Prabhu, Matangi Gopi Devidasi, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Radha Charan Prabhu, Abhay Charan Prabhu, Shukruti Devidasi. I think they went to the temple. They taxed me. Sarmishta Sahi, Kanta Mataji, Vani Prabhu, I didn't see today. Raja Ramdas Prabhu, Shankori Kaur Mataji didn't join today. Radha Vallabh Prabhu, Rasakida Prabhu, Anand Radhika Mataji, Advait Prabhu, Rajesh and Sweta, Amit and Prem Priya Padma Mataji, Balram Prabhu, Suchitra Devidasi, Rashmi Mataji, Lekha Mataji, Thaneshwar, Shrudevi Sundari Mataji, Madan Mohan Kandu Prabhu, Ramkrishna Prabhu and Lata Mataji. Sri Padma Manjari Mataji joined very early from 2 o'clock. Haribol. Murli Manohar Prabhu, I think Murli Gopal Prabhu, I didn't see her. Lal Gopal Prabhu also didn't join today. Sarvasakti Devidasi joined from 2 o'clock in the morning. Haribol. I didn't see Pragyana Pal Prabhu. Leela Manjari Devidasi. Shruvaningi, Shyam Devidasi, and Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Rati Prabhu, as I say. Then Raghava Perumal Srinivas Prabhu. And those newcomers, I already named them. So we will hear a song and then we will be reading from Jaiva Dharma book by Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न च वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं रुक्मिणी केळि संयुक्तं पीताम्बरसुशोभितम् अवाप्त तुलसीगन्धं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादरं मे मनस्या विरास्तामलं लक्षलाभै मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादरं मे मनस्या विरास्तामलं लक्षलाभै नमो देवदामोदरनन्तविष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाभिमग्ना नमो देवदामोदरनन्तविष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाभिमग्ना कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादिदिनं बतानु गृहाणि क्षमामज्ञं निद्याक्षितृष्या कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादिदिनं बतानु गृहाणि क्षमामज्ञं निदक्षितृष्या कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुक्त्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभजौ कृतौ च कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुक्त्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेमभक्तिं स्वकामी प्रयच्छ न मोक्षीग्रहोमि स्थितमोदरेह तथा प्रेमभक्तिं स्वकामी प्रयच्छ न मोक्षीग्रहोमि स्थितमोदरेह स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायात विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायात विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय दिवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय दिवाय तुभ्यम्
Thank you very much, Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song. about the Damodarashtakam. So before we read the Jaiva Dharma, we would like to offer our humble obeisances at the desk of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, so he can bless us, so we can imbibe those instructions in our life and make our life successful. We were reading about the sadhana and prasada bhav. There are two bhavs that we were discussing. So we will start a little bit. Brajanath is asking, kindly describe the Krishna Bhakta Prasad Jabhav. Raghunath Das Babaji, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, and many others received the mercy of the great devotee, Srila Narad Muni, which filled their hearts with bhav, finally elevating them to become Krishna amongst the devotees of the Lord. By the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and other eternal associates of the Lord, innumerable persons have been inspired to engage in the Suddha Bhakti. So Vijay asking, what are the symptoms of Bhavodaya, the awakening of Bhav? Raghunath Das Babaji, Anubhavs are emotions that act as precursors, ultimately evoking bhav. They are 9 in number: kshanti, tolerance; avyarth, kalatva, the feeling that any engagement outside the service of Krishna is a waste of time; virakti, detachment; mansunyata, pridelessness; asabandha, constant hopefulness; sumukta kanta, enthusiasm; sarvadanam gane ruchi, constant relishing of Harinam and glorification of Sri Krishna; Krishna gunakhyani asaktis, eagerness to hear about the qualities of Sri Krishna; and Krishna vasati sthane priti, loving and honoring those places connected with Sri Krishna. Vijay, what is Kshanti? Raghunath Das Babaji, a situation wherein a person exercises tolerance, although he would have every reason to become perturbed and agitated, is known as Kshanti. Another name is Kshama, compassion, forgiveness, and peacefulness. Vijay, what is avyartha kalatva? Raghunath Das Babaji, when a person is fully engaged in serving the Supreme Lord, wishing to avoid wasting time on non-devotional activities, it is called avyartha kalatva. So all these 9 definitions that we read, they would ask the description of those. Vijaya, what is virakti? Raghunath Das Babaji. Virakti is defined as the spontaneous feeling of distress for objects of sense gratification. Vijaya, could a person who has received the Bheka initiation of renunciate be described as someone possessing virakti? Raghunath Das Babaji. Bheka is more a social custom than anything else. When bhav is enthroned in the heart, relish of spiritual realms increasing, and the attractions for sensual pleasures diminishes until it's finally eliminated. This is known as the stage of virakti. Hence, any devotee who take bheka after attaining virakti for the simple reason of minimizing his bodily necessities is called a virakti Vaishnava, virakti Vaishnava. Anyone who puts on the robes of a renunciate before having reached the stage of bhav is a charlatan and his status is not bona fide. Sri Chaitanya highlighted this principle by chastising Chota Haridas. Vijay, what is the meaning of man sunyata? Raghunath Das Babaji. Pride is fueled by one's noble caste and creed, high social status, wealth, strength, beauty, power, etc. Therefore, a person who possesses all these attributes and remain prideless is actually man sunyata. The Padma Puran narrates the story of a very powerful king who became a devotee of Sri Krishna. He abdicated his kingship, left his palace and opulences, and wandered over to his enemy's kingdom, living there by begging for the bare necessities of life. Like a honeybee, he collected a little from everyone. He never reflected on his previous status, but respected the Brahmanas and even the Chandalas, dog eaters. Vijaya, what is the meaning of asbandha, asabandha, asabandha, asabandha? Raghunath Das Babaji. Asabandha means to be convinced that Sri Krishna will surely shower his mercy someday, and to continue to serve and meditate upon him with such a conviction. Vijaya, what is the meaning of Samutkanta? Raghunath Das Babaji. To muster enthusiastically all means to acquire one's coveted object is called Samutkanta. Samut. Vijaya. What is the meaning of Sarvada Nam Gane Ruchi? Raghunath Das Babaji. Yes. The next item is Sarvada Namagane Ruchi, the constant taste for chanting Harinam. When a devotee fully comprehends that all of the various limbs of devotional practice, chanting Harinam is the most effective. He engages his entire time in chanting with great Shraddha. Ruchi for chanting is the prime cause for the topmost spiritual success. However, we will discuss the science of chanting and the truth about the Harinam separately another day. Vijay, what is the meaning of Krishna Guna Khyane Asaktis? Raghunath Das Babaji. In the Sri Krishna Karnamrut, verse 65, there is a reference to the eagerness to hear about Krishna's glory. I'm gonna expand the screen so I can read. Madhuryad api madhuram man mathata tasya kimapi kaisoram chapalyad api chapalam chetovat harati hanta kim kurma. Oh, how wonderful is his ever-fresh youthful beauty. It is sweeter than the honeysuckle flowers. His adolescent restiveness enchants and defines definitions. All these nectarian qualities of the transcendental Cupid have stolen my heart and soul. What I, what am I to do? The more a devotee hear or speak about the wonderful qualities and pastime of Sri Krishna, the more he becomes attracted to them. He is never satiated, and his attachment for hearing these wonders continues to expand. Vijay, what is Krishna Vasati Sthale Priti? Raghunath Das Babaji. Krishna Vasati Sthale Priti means to love and honor the dhams where the Lord performs his pastimes. While circumambulating the dham, a devotee may inquire from the devotees and residents, quote, O residents of the dham, where is the birthplace of the Lord? Where did Mahaprabhu dance in ecstatic Sankirtan? Where would Krishna frolic with the Gopas during his forenoon Purvahana Lila? The pilgrim is answered by the residents. Here is Mayapur, that raised area adorned by many tulsi plant is the yoga pit where the Lord appeared. See these villages, Ganganagar, Simulya, Gandicha, Gadigacha, Machdiya. They are some of the places where Mahaprabhu led his first Sankirtan processions. As he hears the time-honored glories of the dhams mixed with the prem from the lips of a resident of the dham, the devotee feels a divine ambrosia filling his ears that send him into the aesthetic trance. He sheds profound tears with his hair standing on end, whilst immersed in ecstasy of above. Brajanath, when such a flow of aesthetic emotion is inspired, are we to conclude that rati for Krishna is within the devotee? Raghunath Das Babaji, not necessarily. The independent, spontaneous effusions of feelings within the heart for Krishna is rati, transcendental loving attachment. However, shedding tears and such emotions can be inspired by other conditions which are not necessarily rati. Brajanath, Gurudev, kindly illustrate this point with a few more examples. Raghunath Das Babaji, an aspirant for mukti chant Krishna Nam at the stage of Namabhas, the shadow of Suddhanam. He hears that Namabhas has the power to give mukti and is provided with the relevant shastric prama. When he hears this proof, he is stirred to profuse tears and falls down in a faint. This cannot be described as Krishna Rati because he has no spontaneous and unalloyed attractions for Krishna. He simply displays these emotions, which are nearly bhav, that is, bhav abhas, only out of covetousness for his personal objective and the fact that such practices may help him to achieve the same. Further, a seeker of mundane pleasure worships Durga Devi, praying for the materialistic boons of health and wealth, etc. He learns about the mystic potency of the Durga Devi to fulfill such wishes and is moved to tears, roll on the ground, and so on. These symptoms are not bhav. At best, they are bhav abhas, or perhaps even bhav dauratmya, crocodile, tears with evil intent. Whatever the case may be, true bhav symptoms are never manifest or experienced without a long history of constant devotional service with unalloyed motivations to love Sri Krishna. Aspirations for bhukti and mukti, even if they happen to be related to Krishna, sometimes evoke bhav abhas symptoms that are often also bhav duratmya symptoms. The emotions shown by persons who are contaminated by Mayavadi thoughts are all bhav duratmya. Even if such a person has been lying unconscious before the deity of Krishna for days, it cannot be called bhav. Even the most elevated liberated souls and sages who have categorically renounced the world intensely aspire to attain bhav. Bhav is the recondite treasure that Krishna rarely discloses, even to those who have been engaged in bhajan for immeasurably extended periods. So, how can this divine bhav, Krishna Rati, blossom in arid hearts devoid of Suddha Bhakti, where the desire for either bhukti or mukti surges? Brajanath, Gurudev, sometime while performing Harinam Kirtan, hedonistic men and Salvinists exhibit the symptoms you have just described. What feeling are these? Raghunath Das Babaji. Only ignorant and foolish people are impressed by such a so-bottled display of emotions. Those who are actually conversant with the philosophy of bhav will immediately recognize them as rati abhas, duplications which should be carefully avoided. Vijaya, how many kinds of rati abhas are there? Raghunath Das Babaji. There are two varieties of rati abhas. Pratibimba rati abhas, a reflected semblance of rati, and chaya rati abhas, a shadow-like semblance of rati. Vijay, what is pratibimba rati abhas? Raghunath Das Babaji. Mukti cannot be attained without knowledge of Brahman. The process to acquire this knowledge is extremely tedious and difficult. A person may desire mukti, but does not want to embark on the strict disciplines required by this path. He learns that by chanting of Sri Hari's name, one is rewarded with mukti, and consider that this chanting is easy to perform. When he imagines how easily Brahman realization could be thus acquired, strong emotions well up and he begins to cry. His hair stands on end and so on. This is Pratibimba Rati Abhas and nothing more spectacular. Spectacular, yes, Brajanath. Why is the term Pratibimba reflection used here? Raghunath Das Babaji. When kirtan is properly performed, it brings joy. Therefore, when hedonist and emancipationist, both striving for their respective goals, come by great fortune into association with saintly Vaishnavas and join in kirtan with them, the spontaneous emotion of bhav which appear in the hearts of the Vaishnavas is also slightly reflected like the soothing, sublime moon in the hearts of those non-devotees as a result of their close proximity with the Vaishnavas. However, the pristine form of bhav is never manifest in the heart of hedonist and salvanist. They are thrilled to see the bhav symptoms displayed in the Vaishnavas, which in turn inspire them to experience a mere reflected semblance. The Pratibimb Rati Abhas form of Rati Abhas is generally detrimental to most persons. It does not bring eternal good fortune, but merely awards the mundane pleasure of sensual bliss and the relief of emancipation. Therefore, becoming depleted and impotent to call this phenomenal Nam Aparad, offense against the Krishna Nam, would not be mistaken. Brajanath, what is Chayarati Abhas? Raghunath Das Babaji, simple Kanishta devotees who are inexperienced in the intricacies of spiritual science curiously pursue the slight string of bhav symptoms in their hearts when they come into contact with the fever places, holy occasion, pastimes, etc. of the Supreme Lord. These bhava symptoms are factually the nebulous shadow form of real spiritual emotions. Hence, they are designated as chaya, shadow. At this stage, the bhakti of the neophyte is a little more distinct, but not yet firm. The Chayarati Abhas form of Rati Abhas appears particularly at this juncture. Chayarati Abhas occur as a result of scores of pious deeds and may gradually lead the neophyte to higher realization and greater spiritual fortune, especially by frequent association with saintly and elevated Vaishnavas who give their mercy as a catalyst. The real and pristine form of Suddha Bhav may easily appear from this raw ingredient called Chayarati, shadow attachment. Though this form of Chayarati is highly beneficial to the neophyte, offenses to Vaishnava will trigger off a reversal in the spiritual practice, painfully causing the Chayarati to dwindle like the waning moon of the dark fortnight. Even pure Shuddha Bhav, what to speak of Chaya Bhav, begins to wither if touched by the poisonous tentacles of offenses to the Vaishnavas. Aspiring devotee must avoid close contact with adamant and jealous salvationists, because in that association their bhav will wilt and they may begin to aspire for mukti or even begin to consider themselves the worshipable Ishwar. Such sinister motives becomes obvious when ignorant neophyte dance or sing arrogantly in kirtan, desiring mukti or thinking that they have become the supreme Brahman. Lacking power, proper discrimination or knowledge, new devotees may intimately and carelessly interact with the die-hard Salvinists. Such loose behavior exert a calamitous effect upon their devotional progress. Therefore, neophyte in particular must shun the company of such non-devotees. In certain persons, even though they are not engaged in devotional service, bhau symptoms may suddenly appear. From such an occurrence, it may be surmised that these persons have executed Suddha Bhakti in their previous lives. But because of impediment at that time, bhav could not mature and fully manifest. As soon as these unknown impediments are removed, symptoms of Suddha Bhav appear and are crystallized. This Suddha Bhav is indeed Krishna Prasadja, evoking reactions of wonder and amazement amongst the general public, and is bestowed by the causeless mercy of Krishna. In the case where genuine Suddha Bhav is reposed in a devotee, but certain faults and discrepancies are discernible in his character. The devotee should not be treated intemperately or intolerantly, because such a devotee imbued with Suddha Bhav is surely and increasingly lifted by this transcendental phenomenon to sublime heights of spiritual success. Thus, such a devotee with Suddha Bhav cannot perform evil deeds. However, if such discrepancies are noted, then there are two ways to see them. This elevated devotee has committed a sinful act by some providential arrangement, but this is not a permanent slur on his character, or the reactions of the devotee's previous sins are still lingering on even after the advent of Suddha Bhav, though they will very soon recede and cease. If any person insists on pinning blame and calumny on such a pure devotee, he invites the wrath of Namaprad upon himself. Thus the Narasimha Purana declares, Bhagavati cha harau ananya cheta brusa malinopi virajate manushyaha nahi sasak kalusa chavi kadachit timira paro bhavatam upaiti chandra. Just as the moon appears to have shadows and dark patches, but its glow is not shrouded because of them. Similarly, devotees who possess single-minded devotion to the Supreme Lord, in spite of having faults and blemishes, even those who have committed most abominable acts, keep on radiating devotion because of their love for the Lord. These injunctions must not mislead us to think that it is all right if devotees become compulsive sinners. The fact is that the very desire for committing sin is expunged once the devotee becomes steadfast in bhakti. Yet, as long as the body is there, accident may happen, and thus a devotee may commit sins inadvertently. As soon as that occurs, Bhakti Devi instantly incinerates to ashes the devotee's sins and warns the devotee against repeating them. A devotee who continuously commits sins has most certainly not developed Ananya Bhakti to the Lord, because a sincere devotee can never perpetrate devotionally fatal acts shamelessly, whilst relying on the absolving potency of Bhakti Devi for this is a serious offense. The nature of bhav, that is rati, is to increase the desire of the devotee for divine love gradually and constantly. Thus, because of its restless nature, bhav is volatile and embodies intense bliss. Although bhav churns up the torrid sanchari bhavs, impelling aesthetic emotion, still it remains more soothing than a million moon rays. At this point in their discussion, Brajanath and Vijay appear to be deeply pondering over the concept and principle of Bhavatattva. Simultaneously, Babaji Maharaj seems to withdraw into himself. However, the two aspirants were too excited and keen for knowledge to allow this unexpected lull to continue. They respectfully asked the next questions. Brajanath, Gurudev, your instructions are marvelous. They have opened the floodgates of immortal ambrosia of Prem within us and extinguished the flames of material entanglement in our hearts. We are inebriated by this nectar and have lost our sense of directions. Where should we go? What should we do? Alas, O Gurudev, fie upon our Brahmana birth that has poisoned the heart with pride and arrogance. We do not possess a drop of humility, so how can we expect to attain bhav? Our only hope is attached to you, dear Gurudev. You are an eternal associate of the Lord. If you give us just the smallest iota of divine prem, then everything will be perfect for us. On the basis of our spiritual relations with you, a new optimism is dawning within us. Spiritually, we are poverty-stricken and wretched, but you are an impressive bulwark amongst the devotees of the Lord and most compassionate. So kindly advise us of our real responsibilities. A feeling inside me prompts me to turn my back upon family and home and surrender at your feet so that I will be able to serve you always. Vijay Kumar, patiently waiting for an opportune moment, interjected, Gurudev, Brajanath is young and his mother wants him to enter household life, but he is not prepared to do so. Kindly tell us what we should do. Raghunath Das Babaji, you have received Sri Krishna blessings, so convert your household into Krishna's household and serve him. May everyone follow the advice of Sri Chaitanya. There are two orders of devotees in the world, householders and renunciates. A person must remain in the household until he is ready to renounce that situation. In this way, serve Krishna as a householder devotee. Our dear Sri Chaitanya displays pastime in his first 24 years as a householder. We stand out as a perfect example for Vaishnava householders. His pastimes in the final 24 years as a renunciates are example to be emulated by the renunciates and aspiring sannyasis. My recommendation to you is this. Study the householder life of the Lord and sincerely try to follow in his footsteps. at least for the present. You must not think that the highest level of Krishna Prem is beyond the reach of the householder devotees. The majority of the close associates of Mahaprabhu were householders, and they were certainly the direct recipient of his mercy. Even renunciate Vaishnava pray to be blessed by receiving the sacred dust of the lotus feet of the Lord's householder devotees upon their heads. Vijaya and Brajanath offered their obeisances as to see Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj and took leave, though it was very late. They joined the other Vaishnavas of Srivas Angan and spent the rest of the night singing and chanting Krishna's name. Early the next morning, they completed ablutions, took a bath, and attended the spiritual program in the temple. At noon, they honored Mahaprasadam with the Vaishnavas. Soon thereafter, leaving and making their way slowly back home. At the Bilwa Pushkapakarini lake, they sat down, and after considering all they had heard from Babaji Maharaj, decided to continue in household life and serve Sri Krishna in that way. Vijay Kumar broke the news to his sister, the mother of Brajanath, so she could make all the necessary arrangement for the marriage of Brajanath. The mother and grandmother of Brajanath were beside themselves with joy. Living for a few days to Madadrum Dweep, Vijay Kumar was sent off with a new wardrobe according to the custom. Upon reaching his destination, he immediately sent his younger brother Harinath to help the mother of Brajanath with the preparations. Thus ends the 22nd chapter of Jaiva Dharma, entitled Nitya Dharma, Shrabandha Abhidai and Prayojana, Part 10, the initial discussions of Prayojana, the highest goal of life. So we will be embarking on the next chapter. Nitya Dharma, Sabandha, Abhidai and Prayojana, Part 11, the initial discussions of the Nama Tattva by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, translated by Sri Sarva Bhavana Prabhu. The village of Bilwa Pushkarini, skirted by the holy waters of river Ganga on the north and west, is set in picturesque surrounding. A wonderful temple of Lord Shiva named Bilwa Paksa Mahadev is situated in the village on the banks of sparklingly clear pond, whose waters are cooled in summer by the generous shade of the burgeoning Bilwa trees. Not far from there is a place called Bhavataran. Nearby, at the periphery of Navdeep town, lies the little hamlet of Simulya, situated with Bilwa Pushkarini village on one side and famous Brahman Pushkarini lake on the other. There on the northern side of the main road, between the Brahman Pushkarini lake and the Bilwa Pushkarini village, the house of Brajnath is peacefully located. After saying goodbye to his sister, Vijay Kumar left home. Nevertheless, after a short distance, he turned around, having made up his mind that he could not return home without having properly understood the spiritual science of chanting Krishna Nam. Returning to the residence of his sister, he made her even happier, but by announcing that he was going to remain for a few days more. That afternoon, Vijay Kumar and Brajanath were relaxing in the courtyard upon the Chandi Mandap. The such sun had traversed the better part of the day and was preparing for a breathtakingly beautiful sunset. When two Vaishnavas of the Ramanuja Ramanandi Sampradaya disciplic succession, with Sri Tilaka markings proudly upon their foreheads, suddenly appeared near the entrance to Vrajanath's abode. After looking around, they chose the inviting shelter of the jackfruit tree in front of the house, where they quietly collected strawn twigs, lit a small cracking fire, and began to smoke hemp. Brajanath's mother enjoyed showing hospitality to guests very much, and observing that the Vaishnavas seemed hungry, she sent them vegetables and grains. Receiving them gladly, the sadhus immediately started preparing a simple meal of vegetables and flatbread rotis that are offered silently to the Lord and then honored as a prasadam. So I think we should just stop here. It's 7:16. Today is Saturday, so we can have a little question answer, reflection, correction, chastisement, whatever you wish. So normally I give 20 seconds that somebody should come forward voluntarily. Everyone is enlivened with this wonderful uh, practice. So hope someone will come forward. Haribol. And nobody is coming forward, huh? Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribol, Haribol. Please say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Danvat Pranam, Prabhu. Happy Kartik month, Prabhu.
Haribol, Haribol,
Happy Kartik month to all devotees.
Haribol. Yes, Taneswar Prabhu, go ahead. Anything else you want to say, or just wishing us the happy Kartik, which is very nice of you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for providing the opportunity. And as the Purana says, I mean, today is the most auspicious day, and I mean, any devotional service performed in a small way multiplies many fold. So,
Mm.
thank you so much, Prabhu, for providing us this opportunity to uh, see the lotus faces of all the devotees and Vaishnavas and
Haribol, Haribol.
starting the day in a wonderful way.
Mm. Wonderful. Very nice realizations. So many devotees are here. I can, if nobody will come, I'll pick some. Sakhi Saran Devidasi, Mataji, are you there? Sakhi Saran Mataji, are you there? Maybe away from the phone. Who can be reached? Let's see. Sri Padma Manjari Devidasi, are you there? She has been joining very early today. She joined, I think, 2 o'clock, a little after 2. Mataji, you are there? Sri Padma Manjari Devidasi? She is also away from the phone. Very well. So then we should go to Ram Krishna Prabhu and Lata Mataji. Are you there, Ram Krishna Prabhu? They have been joining now regularly at 5 o'clock.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Danvat Prabhuji.
Danvat Pranam.
Danvat Prabhuji. Any question, comments, reflections, whatever Krishna inspired you within your heart?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, very happy. The best moment of the life or the moment of the day, I would say. We were just discussing about that. These are the 2 hours most important, most valuable time that we are spending. That's how we are feeling. And we delayed a lot to join this group. So want to progress a little bit, like your advice, maybe half an hour early, then come to 4. That's our goal on this.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful devotee.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
And all devotees' blessings.
Thank you, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, happy Kartik month Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Lata Mataji.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
very
your
much.
association Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. A wonderful devotee. Both of them, they invited me, feed me so nicely.
Trying to, Prabhuji. We are still
remember
we are trying to get there.
And Prabhuji has wonderful 2 boys. And I was so happy to visit their house. And it was still, these moments are still in my memory. That how nicely they saw me, you know.
Thank you,
With
Prabhuji.
nice girls. And the both sons are so, I was moved that even though they are grown up now, and still they have so nice culture that I really was impressed that how nicely Prabhuji and Mataji has trained them. That is the duty of the father and mother, you know. Actually, we should live beside a legacy of our nature with our children. And Prabhuji has done a very good job. I'm really impressed with their 2 sons. And I wish them all the best.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Prabhuji.
And both, yes. Then may Krishna give you a lot of strength and energy to remain steadfast. And beginning from this Kartik month, we may become more serious, make little further advancement, and never look back. The spiritual journey should always be getting more and more closer to Krishna, and only we will be able to go closer to Krishna that we spend more time with Krishna. In any way that reading his pastimes or hearing the class, writing something, chanting his holy name, those are the rules our Acharya has set for it. So please imbibe more and more, and that will.
I was actually thinking of telling this when I met you in person, but I think I can share with the group also. The small things that you say in between the chanting, they are really helpful for me, and they keep me honest and also not to anchor around the material world, corporate world. Throughout the day, like whenever I'm trying to be more passionate about that side, your word and your guidance really keeps me a check there. Don't behind that.
because last night I was there at the one of the Disa functions. They invited all the religious group and the leaders of the society. So somehow or other, Saranga told me that, Prabhu, you have to come. I said, really? I need to come? He said, yes. So then I went there. And I was just thinking at that time that, I make some of those strong statements, how the devotees may be taking, they may be not liking those things. So I was just having the thought in my mind that continuously ponder on those points, because it's keep me straight, Prabhu, by having those kind of a thought in my life. But I was just dwelling at that time, one moment, that, even though I was at a different function, but my mind was always working. Even Murli Manohar Prabhu was with me, and he asked me, Prabhu, what you are thinking? I said, I'm not here. My mind is somewhere else. I'm just sitting physically. So at that time, the same thought was going in my mind, that should I continue to say those? It's a true fact.
Very
But,
much, Prabhuji, very
sometimes,
much. Those very rare opportunities we get. We see very less senior devotees sharing their personal experiences, which is
mm,
which is like like a lighthouse for all of us to reach to the
mm,
nation. So
yes,
please do that. And
mm,
again, somebody sharing personal is very important to
yes,
to get motivated to reach the goal, and to at least make a sincere effort.
yes, yeah. Yeah, that's how I took it, that not to get the glory that, okay, I'm a great devotee or something, but the only reason I said those things because I know that by hearing it may help someone, like that.
It is
That
helping,
may
Prabhuji.
help
For
me.
me, it is really helping. I'm
Ah.
also very much behind that corporate kind of thing all these years.
You have really absorbed in that, whenever I use, I don't know, somehow or other I hate that corporate world.
Yeah. We take example of we take example of Sarang Thakur Prabhu also. He,
Yes.
he was a vice president level position. He quit on one day, and then he said, I'm going to the temple for full-time service. I think that is so humble and generous. And I think we want, at least I want to do someday a day, call it as early as possible, and then say, yeah, do
This
something.
is enough.
Yeah, this is enough. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah. One day we have to become detached, and we know that we have limited time in our day. And when we hear this life of this great Vaishnava who walked on that path, they dedicated so much to attain the love of Krishna. So we also should foresee those things, and make little plan in our life to move in that directions. And yeah, it is always nice to see the devotees who take those steps, and we see that how Krishna is, reciprocating with those devotees who has surrendered. I have so many experience like this. I have witnessed even some, members that they didn't even take initiation, but because of their attachment and the faith in Radhanila Madhava, I saw the Radhanila Madhava reciprocate with them. So it's the process is perfect. I think that we should have a full faith and conviction that we can't go wrong. This process is so sublime that, all other things we have to wait, like insurance, you have to wait until you die. Then, how does you will know that insurance pay to your relatives or not? But still, we have a faith in those things.
Correct.
But here, the Krishna is giving the promise, and we can see it that Krishna is very kind. As we surrender, He will give you this experience in your life that will strengthen your faith. But what it takes is to come out from the regular box and take little risk. Then and then we will know that Krishna, yes, Krishna is there. If you don't take a risk, we will never notice his kindness. Yeah, that's very true, Prabhu. But thank you very much for your hospitality and nice nature. And I think it's nice to see the family like that. It's very, very
Hare
sweet.
Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you very much.
Dhanyavad.
Prabhuji. Dhanyavad.
Danvat, Danvat, Prabhuji. Ah,
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So we are
Haribol,
waiting to
Haribol.
hear from you tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow at 11:30.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Also, Sarvasakti Mataji is there. She has just, I think, are you still Mataji in India or you came back? Must be in India.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji, I'm still in India. I'll be here for another 3 weeks. And then I'll
Ah,
come back.
oh, I see. So, how was your trip? Would you like to say something?
Oh, it was just wonderful, Prabhuji. I mean, the yatra, South India yatra with Guru Maharaj was just amazing. All the deities, like
Like in the Udupi
old
Krishna, right?
Udupi Krishna and Chaluva
Mm,
Narayana.
mm,
Some of the deities were installed by, Prahlad Maharaj. It's
mm,
very wonderful to see all those like ancient old deities, and they're so beautiful. It was
mm.
amazing trip. And
Right,
then I
right.
went to Jagannath Puri too. It was amazing darshan. This was my first time going to Jagannath Puri. It was
Mm,
very, very crowded because it was
mm,
Dasara time. But the
mm,
darshan was very, very nice, very beautiful. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, and your Guru Maharaj spent a lot of time to dig out all the details. I really relish, but
Yes.
I have limitations, so I cannot attend all the yatra. But my heart and mind is there, and whenever I have a time, I hear those narrations wonderfully because
Mm-hmm.
Maharaj spent a lot of time when he was for the yatra, immense time, I can say, to prepare,
Mm-hmm.
to enlighten us, the
Mm-hmm.
hidden gems of those, pastimes. Maharaj find it and share with us. So it's so, so wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Prabhuji, I have a question. I've been having this question for a while, if I can ask you.
Sure.
So, Prabhuji, they say that, in order to constantly chant, we have to follow the third verse of Sikshashtakam, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna. But,
Mm,
theoretically, I have that understanding, okay, we are, like Krishna is really great. I'm very small, insignificant. I can definitely feel that and all that. But then, whenever practically I have to apply, I that false ego comes first.
mm,
And then I have to keep telling myself, no, 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 no. Krishna should be in the center. But at the beginning, spontaneously I comes in the center first.
mm.
But then does it, over a period of time with practice, does like Krishna will become in the center eventually, or because that is how we have to. I mean, only if we have become humble, then only we'll be able to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra constantly, right, Prabhuji? If you can give
Yes.
any tips how to become humble,
Mm,
tolerant.
mm. Yeah, all these qualities, I think the main out of those 26 qualities, the foremost quality is surrendering. And there are 6 steps that Bhakti Vinod has explained about the surrendering process. So it is not that we have to work to create the humility in our mind or to create tolerance. If we will keep that mood and we should see it's a reality that we are totally insignificant and we can't change the circumstances in our life unless we have been blessed by some supreme power. I think that we should realize in our daily life because whatever we want to do, we have seen that it won't happen in our life. even though we may call ourselves an expert in that directions, but we can't achieve. So that should give us some realizations that, well, actually, I have to depend on this mercy of the superior Krishnas. Otherwise, it's impossible. And if we keep that always the mood that we are very insignificant and we always need the mercy of our Guru Maharaj, our Guru Parampara, and with their blessings only we can make some advancement. So we should always beg the mercy of those personality, like when we wake up in the morning, when we go to sleep, or any time during the day. And that's the reason, that when we take the second initiation, they give us the Brahman thread. So we can pray to our Guru Maya 3 times a day, early in the morning when sun rises, when sun comes on the moon, and when sun set. At least 3 times compulsory that we pray. And if we know the meanings of the Gayatri Mantra, then everything, whatever we do, I think that we should dwell little deeper, not just do as a rituals, but try to understand why those things is asked by our spiritual master or in our sampradaya, that we need to chant the Gayatri Mantra 3 times, 7 Gayatri Mantra. And when we meditate, we can see that there is a potency can involve by uttering those prayers, even though we may be not qualified. But we follow the process nicely. Same thing with the holy name. I think that the most realizations that I have is we have to become detached from the hankering of the material allurement. Somehow or other, at least we should pursue to reduce at some extent. And when we take the steps like that, then you will see that actually you will become more happier. And then you will realize, oh, this path is wonderful. That's why my Guru Maharaj always used to say, start giving up with small amount, becoming detached from our necessities, make it smaller and smaller, our demand for the body and mind. And then we will see that we dedicated that. You start with my Guru Maharaj was very practical. He said, I don't want you to lose the faith. I want you to create the faith slowly. And he gave the recipe that, okay, you just give 5% of your time, 5% of your money, 5% of your ability to use in Krishna service. And if see that it can still maintain your life the way you are living. So I start doing like that. And then he said, when you feel formed, that yes, I can do that. Then you can increase to 10% of your time, your energy, your money. And then you see, is it something that you can live with it? Definitely. And then you will feel, yes, it's possible. And it doesn't change my life. I feel even more happier. Because when we dedicated more to Krishna, Krishna definitely reciprocate with us. But also we have to be so careful not to create any offense and namaparad, the offense toward the Vaishnavas, and some guideline we should follow very rigidly. Because if we don't follow those rules properly, then even though we give up some of the attachments, still we will not pursue the happiness that it is there. So if we guard against those things, create a wall, like, whenever I walk 7 years ago or something, I still remember that incident with, what is her name, Damodar Prabhu's wife, Sobhageswari Mataji. And I said, Sobha Mataji, I take a vow that I won't blame, look at the fault of the other devotees, and I won't criticize. I want to keep aloof from there. I don't want to be a part of some discussions or something comes. And it's really protect you. You create the wall, like within the mind, that okay, this I don't want to do. I don't want to do. I don't want to do. Slowly and slowly, those things will remove from our mind and heart. And then also we keep on praying to the holy name when we wants to begin chanting Hare Krishna. That I want to chant purely, please assist me. I'm fallen. And then read the Mahamantra and hear. And then you will see that the Krishna will make wonderful arrangement in our life. That you will feel that whatever you are giving up, you will never feel that I'm losing something in my life. Rather, you will feel that I'm gaining something. And that experience we need to have in devotee's life. Unless we experience it, it's very difficult to give up these deep-rooted attachments. So, yeah, just, keep on thinking that this is what I want to do. But meditate on that, exhibit it, and remain focused for those things. I think the main thing that I have seen, that something has worked for us. We may continue doing it, but as the time goes by, we forget those things which has worked in a devotional life. So I think it might be a good idea to keep a diary and make a note if something has worked for you, because our tendency is that 4 years ago something has worked in your devotional life wonderfully, but you may forget. Like in chanting also, so many things can help us improve chanting. And if something has worked, the technique, we should continuously using. But our nature in the material world is everything diminishes. So unless and until we really remain vigilant on these things, slowly and slowly our memory will become diluted. Something has worked very nicely for our chanting. We may not use that with that eagerness in our mind and heart. So all these things, slowly and slowly, we have to build up the spiritual life. Means whatever you learn, you should never forget. Keep it intact in your journey. And slowly build up, build up, build up. But don't lose that. What has worked, you always maintain. And then you add something. You don't reduce anything. So sometimes I feel, when the devotees reach to the certain stage, and then you see that slowly they cannot maintain. Whenever you see whatever the stage you have reached in your life, you know that okay, how strong I am. I am able to chant this in the morning. Whatever the activity I'm doing is related to Krishna. Then anything that for whatever circumstances comes in our life, because circumstances will keep on changing. But our standard, what we have achieved, should never be minimized. Always remember that when you have to reduce your sadhana or your practice, you should open your eyes very wide that something is wrong. This is not what I want to do. And try to maintain. Sometimes it's very difficult. But once you do these things, then, like last night we went to the function and I slept for only 2 hours and 37 minutes. But that was my wow. And I know that I struggle today. I feel that. But so what? At least I would like to show Krishna that I can never miss you by 2 o'clock. I want to associate with you by chanting your holy name. No matter if I have slept or sometime I don't sleep whole night. That's okay. So those determinations, we started at 4 o'clock, then we started at 3:30, then at 3, then 2:30, and then after the Naperville Japa retreat, I said, no, we should start at 2 o'clock. And now we see that, 7 devotees are joining at 2 o'clock. Slowly and slowly, and I have seen all the devotees that whatever the time they used to join, now they are joining earlier and earlier. So it helps. And this Sangha will help us. We see if I don't go there, that's why I always say to the devotees, take some responsible position because we need some force. Like, I take that in charge of this japa. Now, if I don't join by 2 o'clock, what kind of leader I am? You know, no matter what it happen, if I have sleep or not, if I don't join, what kind of example I'm setting? And, I always watch that in 4 years, I was only 2 days late in 4 years. I never miss my time, whatever the time was, 3 o'clock, 2:30 or 2 o'clock. 2 days it happened that I don't know whatever Krishna's arrangement that he wants that we don't become too proud. So he just made me sleep a little longer, a couple of days in 4 years. So that happens, and we can see that we should not get proud of our activities or whatever Krishna is helping. We have to really content within our heart that please allow me that I don't become a pride person and I don't want to get any recognitions for my service. I don't want that, praise or anything like that. We have to stay away from this thing. Whenever I look at the life of Raghunath Das Goswami, he is my hero in my life. And whenever I see it, what kind of he was so multi-billionaire. And he gave up everything for the pleasure of Krishna. We cannot go to that stage, but slowly and slowly we should try to reach there, It's possible. So these are my thought process, Sarvasakti Devidase, that never ever go down what the stage you have attained. And that's the key for success. You should remain very vigilant. If you are chanting so many rounds, then you don't want to decrease. You want to increase. But become practical when you increase certain things. Like I always tell that go on for 6 months and see that you can tackle all the problems and still you maintain the higher standard. And my experience is that 9-day rule has worked very good for me. If you take any vow in your spiritual life, maintain that vow without fail for 90 days continuously. If you fail one day, after say 2 months you practice, and one day you miss it, then you start counting from that day, another 90 days. And if you successfully do that, then all these things will become very clear and you will know how to adjust the things. It's our intelligence, we have to use, we have to learn how we are managing our time. All these things will come into the play when we become sincere. That, hey, why I want to waste that time? There is no need to do those things. So stay away. I hope that can help. Thank you, Mother, for asking.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That was very, very detailed. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. It's very, very helpful. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, I just look at the clock. It's 7:47, so we have reached our time. So with those thoughts, this is the journey of the Kartik month. And I always take it that this is the month that we should increase little, not much, but little, and maintain it for 30 days, and then try to maintain throughout the year. This is how we should do. Like a Janmashtami, all this, we take little vow, then we want to maintain that vow for a long time. That's why all these wonderful months, some special festival comes, so we can uplift, go a little closer to Krishna. So with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of the devotees. Always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that their life can also become successful and totally fearless. With those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of wonderful devotees who joined from Carltondale, Houston, India, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Austin, Alachua, Tempe, Phoenix, College Station, San Jose, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baton Rouge, Baltimore, Portland, Dhaka, Orlando, Jacksonville, Ohio, St. Louis, and New Delhi.
Kalpatapasya Kupasindu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind Ki Jai.
Thank you very
Ram
much.
Chandra Prabhu Ki Jai, Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu,
Hare Krishna.